All right, here's part 2, and we're going to do C, question C. So when running this set play, Andrew McLeod often makes errors of plus or minus 10%. That's what that means, like plus 10%, but also could be minus 10%, or anywhere in between. This only applies to distance run, not angles. So we don't even have to worry about angles, which is good. Show on your scale diagram the possible distance from point B to point A, and find the error of the entire distance. Now I've put this little bit in brackets. Basically, if he does 10% error on the distance from point A to point B, then 10% error on distance from point B to point C, how far off his intended spot will he be? Basically, forget about the point B to point C bit. We're just doing point A to point B. So if he overshoots this point, he runs from point A, if he overshoots or undershoots it, how much does it screw up the rest of this graph or the scale diagram? Okay, cool. So we've got to figure out 10% error. So when you're figuring out 10% of a number, you just times it by 0.1. Now I've already recorded this video and then I made a big mistake, so I've started it again. Look down here. See this bit here? 40 times 0.1. So if you want to find 10% of something, you just times it by 0.1. If you want to find 50% of something, you just times it by 0.5. So 10% of 40 is 4 meters there. And then what we're going to do, we know that is like the max that he could overshoot or undershoot by. So 40 meters, if he goes 4 meters over, he's going to get to 44 meters. If he goes 4 meters under, he's going to get to 36 meters. He can't, because he doesn't make errors more than 10%, so he can't go under this number, he can't go over this number. So he's definitely going to run in between 36 and 44 somewhere. He's aiming for 40, but he might undershoot, he might overshoot. Anywhere in between there he could run. How are we going to draw that on this diagram? So, get our ruler out. We know that this line's 4 centimeters, or 40 meters in Andrew's case. And what we have to do, look back here. So let's start with undershooting it. We see that if he undershoots it, he could go 36 meters. So what we've got to do, we've got to look on this line, and we've got to find the bit that is 36. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 31. You could do like 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. So it's like just after the midway point between 3 and 4. So that's 35, this bit. It's like here. So be really careful, do a little dot. Okay. A little dot like there. That is, in our case, it's like 4 millimeters or 0.4 centimeters, but in his case, it's like 4 meters. So we're not even halfway to 10 meters, so we're not even halfway to a centimeter. So that's why it's 4 millimeters or 0.4 centimeters. Excellent. Then we can do the same for overshooting it. So we know if he overshoots it, he could go 44 meters. So let's draw a little dot for that. We've got to find 4 millimeters. This is where it gets a bit tricky. So 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 45 meters or 4.5 centimeters. So it's like this one right here. So it is here. Now, if you don't get it perfect, that's okay. Just make sure you label it. All right. Now, in hindsight, maybe I could have picked a bigger scale because this is quite a small little diagram. And as a result, these dots and stuff are going to be really close together. Now, this one looks closer than this one. That is just me making errors on the ruler and stuff. I'll try and do this out here a bit. So we know this is 4 meters and this is 4 meters. Or 0.4 centimeters, 0.4 centimeters. What does the question say? Show on your scale diagram the possible distance to point B from point A and find the error of the entire distance. Done that. So this bit's tricky, because we haven't got much room to work with. I can't really write the numbers in here and stuff. I just need you to, if you got this in an assessment, do these little dots. Show me that you know how to work out 10%, plus or minus 10%. And then just get creative, just make sure it's clear. So you could do this little circle. you could write like 4 meters difference. So I've done a little circle here. These 2 dots I'm referring to, I've done a little line. And I said 4 meter difference, possibly 36 meters. So you might run 36 meters. Let's do the same for the other 2. So I just had some kids knock on the window. I've circled these 2 dots, like the overshoot one and the normal one, and I've drawn a line. 4 meter difference, about the same. Possibly 44 meters. You just have to kind of show me that you know what you're doing. Like, you've worked out, I mean, show these calculations too. Show them, that'll help you. You've worked out 10% of 40, and now you are saying, well, what if it was 10% under, what if it was 10% over? You've drawn the dots on the little graph, on the diagram, and you've kind of labelled them. Cool. My computer's locked. Look at this nice background. Guess my password. Discuss the significance of error. Do this in like 1 or 2 sentences. Don't make a big essay on it. What I'd say, it's like, because you can imagine if he undershoots, maximum undershooting, and then his angle's going to be like going up here. Like it will be parallel to this line. It'll be kind of like that. I mean, if you want to write this as well, do it like a really faint so you can know, you show your understanding. If he overshoots it, this is like he could end up anywhere in between these 2 outer lines. He wants to go along here, but he could end up, here. At worst, chances are he won't end up right on the line. He might end up like here or something. Still, could happen. So, discuss the significance of this error. Well, probably not that major. I mean, yeah, he'll be off, but like he'll only be 4 meters off. And on a footy field that is, I don't know how long they are. They have to be like 150 meters. I don't know. I'll have to look up how long a footy field is. It's not that major an error, I don't think, in my opinion. If you think it's a big error, if you think it's a really big error, you can tell, like you can write it down. You just have to try to like convince me and make a good argument. But I mean, he's like a very skilled kicker. Like if he's 4 meters off, it probably won't matter. When he says it, like point C is pretty much the 50-meter line where he goes and kicks for goal. So I mean, anything, if he makes a bit of an error, he'll be like slightly off, or he'll be, he'll have to kick an extra like meter or so. It's not the end of the world. Yeah, hopefully that helped. See ya.